Disrespect is one of the most common yet misunderstood experiences in human life, and what makes it dangerous is not the insult itself but the way it quietly invades the mind, triggers emotion, and steals inner peace without permission, because according to Stoic philosophy, no one truly disrespects you unless you allow their behavior to disturb your judgment, and Marcus Aurelius warned that the soul becomes colored by the thoughts it holds, which means when someone disrespects you and you respond with anger, defensiveness, or the need to prove yourself, you are not protecting your dignity, you are surrendering it, since disrespect often comes from people who are themselves confused, insecure, or hungry for control, and reacting emotionally only feeds their need for validation, while silence, composure, and self-command starve it completely, because the Stoics understood something modern society has forgotten. Your value is internal, not negotiated through arguments, raised voices, or explanations, and Epictetus made it clear that if someone speaks ill of you, it is not their words that harm you but your belief that those words matter, which is why the strongest response to disrespect is not confrontation but detachment, not submission but restraint, because restraint is power under control, and power under control is the essence of Stoic strength, and when you think deeply about it, every act of disrespect is a test, not of your status but of your discipline, because people often disrespect others to provoke emotion, to gain a reaction, or to feel superior for a brief moment, and the moment you react impulsively, you give them exactly what they wanted, while losing what matters most: your calm authority, and Stoicism teaches that calm authority intimidates far more than aggression ever could, because a person who cannot be shaken cannot be controlled, and this is why Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminded himself not to be disturbed by the ignorance of others, because people act according to their nature and level of awareness, and expecting wisdom from the unwise is the fastest path to frustration. So when someone disrespects you, the Stoic response begins internally by asking a single powerful question: is this within my control? And the answer is almost always no, because you cannot control what people say, think, or feel, but you can control how you interpret it, and interpretation is everything, because the same words that break one person become meaningless noise to another, and that difference is not in strength or intelligence but in perspective, and the Stoics train themselves daily to see insults as neutral events, stripped of emotional charge, because once you remove the emotional label, disrespect loses its power, and what remains is simply sound or opinion, neither of which can harm character unless invited, and Seneca warned that anger always punishes itself by disturbing the one who holds it, which means responding emotionally to disrespect is self-inflicted damage, not self-defense, and this is why the Stoic path is not about suppressing emotion but mastering it, understanding it, and refusing to be ruled by it, because emotional mastery creates psychological distance, and distance creates clarity, and clarity reveals the truth, that most disrespect has nothing to do with you at all, it is projection, insecurity, envy, or frustration wearing the mask of confidence. And once you see this clearly, the urge to react fades, because why would you argue with someone who is revealing their own weakness? And this does not mean you tolerate repeated disrespect or allow boundaries to be crossed, because Stoicism is not passivity, it is precision, and there is a difference between ignoring meaningless insults and calmly enforcing boundaries, because a Stoic does not shout, threaten, or explain excessively. A Stoic states boundaries once, clearly, without emotion, and then follows through with action, not words, because action communicates self-respect far louder than arguments ever could, and in social dynamics, people respect those who respect themselves, not those who beg for understanding, and this is why over-explaining yourself is often perceived as weakness, because it signals that you are seeking approval rather than standing in your own judgment. And Marcus Aurelius advised to be strict with oneself and tolerant with others, meaning you hold yourself to high standards of conduct while refusing to let others drag you into their chaos, and chaos is exactly what disrespect tries to create: emotional chaos, mental noise, inner instability, and the Stoic refuses to participate in that chaos, choosing instead silence, composure, and deliberate action, because silence unsettles the disrespectful person more than any comeback, as it forces them to confront their own behavior without the distraction of your reaction, and psychologically, silence communicates confidence, because only insecure people feel the need to constantly defend their image, while secure individuals let their actions speak over time, and this is why the most powerful response to disrespect is often no response at all, paired with consistent self-respect in behavior, posture, tone, and decisions, because respect is not demanded, it is demonstrated, and demonstrated repeatedly. And when disrespect comes from people you must deal with, such as colleagues or family, Stoicism teaches strategic distance, not emotional withdrawal but mental separation, where you interact only as necessary without emotional investment, because attachment is what gives insults power, and detachment dissolves it. And this detachment does not mean indifference to values but indifference to ego, because ego is fragile and easily wounded, while character is stable and self-contained, and a Stoic builds character daily through discipline, self-control, and reflection, making external opinions increasingly irrelevant, and this is why the Stoics practiced negative visualization, imagining criticism, rejection, and insult in advance so that when it happened, it felt familiar rather than shocking, reducing emotional reactivity, and this practice trains the mind to remain steady under pressure, which is a rare skill in a reactive world. And the irony is that people who disrespect others are often deeply reactive themselves, driven by impulse, emotion, and insecurity, while the Stoic stands apart, observing rather than absorbing, and this observation creates freedom because once you stop taking disrespect personally, you stop suffering unnecessarily, and suffering is optional when it comes from interpretation rather than reality, and this does not mean you become cold or arrogant, but grounded, composed, and difficult to provoke, and people sense this immediately, adjusting their behavior accordingly because humans instinctively test boundaries, and when they encounter calm firmness instead of emotional volatility, respect naturally follows, and even if it does not, the Stoic remains unaffected, because peace is not dependent on external validation, and Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that he would encounter selfish, arrogant, and rude people, not to be surprised by it, but to be prepared, because preparation eliminates resentment, and resentment is the hidden poison that disrespect injects when left. Disrespect becomes truly powerless the moment you stop trying to correct how others see you, because Stoicism teaches that reputation lives in other people's minds, not in your control, and Marcus Aurelius made peace with this by reminding himself that trying to manage opinions is a lifelong distraction that steals attention from what actually matters: character, action, and inner order, and when you understand this deeply, you no longer feel the urge to defend yourself against every slight, sarcastic remark, or subtle insult, because you recognize that engaging emotionally with disrespect is an unconscious agreement to play a game you cannot win, a game where the rules are set by ego, insecurity, and social dominance rather than truth, and this is why the Stoics valued self-respect over social approval, because self-respect is stable while approval is volatile, and the moment your peace depends on how others treat you, you become vulnerable to manipulation, since anyone can control you simply by provoking emotion, and Stoicism exists precisely to break this chain, to make the individual internally sovereign, immune to emotional coercion, and guided by reason rather than impulse, and when disrespect comes repeatedly from the same source, the Stoic response shifts from silent endurance to strategic clarity, because wisdom knows when silence strengthens dignity and when distance preserves it, and distance does not always mean physical separation but emotional withdrawal, reducing access to your attention, energy, and vulnerability, because attention is currency, and giving attention to disrespect rewards it, while withdrawing attention starves it, and this is a powerful psychological truth that modern psychology confirms but Stoicism understood centuries ago, and this is why the Stoic does not try to change disrespectful people, because trying to change others is a hidden form of arrogance, the belief that your effort should control their nature. While Stoicism instead focuses on self-governance, the only form of power that never fails, and as Epictetus taught, freedom begins the moment you stop seeking outcomes outside your control, which includes respect from those who lack the capacity to give it, and once you internalize this, disrespect no longer feels like rejection but like misalignment, a signal that emotional distance is required, not confrontation, and this shift protects your mental clarity because clarity is fragile in noisy environments, and disrespect thrives in noise, confusion, and emotional chaos, while it dissolves in calm, boundaries, and indifference, and the Stoic understands that not every situation requires a response, because responding gives significance, and significance gives power, and many insults are attempts to elevate the speaker by lowering you, but refusing to engage collapses that illusion instantly, and this refusal is not weakness, it is discernment, the ability to recognize which battles strengthen character and which only inflate ego, and this discernment is what separates disciplined individuals from reactive ones, because reactive people live at the mercy of external stimuli, while disciplined individuals choose their reactions deliberately, and in social hierarchies, this discipline creates quiet authority, because people instinctively respect those who cannot be emotionally shaken, even if they do not consciously understand why, and this is why Stoicism places such emphasis on composure, posture, tone, and presence, because respect is communicated more through how you carry yourself than through what you say, and a calm, grounded presence communicates self-assurance without words, while defensiveness communicates insecurity regardless of logic. And this is why Stoics avoided excessive explanation, because explanation often signals doubt in one's own position, while clarity requires few words, and when boundaries must be stated, they are stated once. Calmly, firmly, without emotion, and never justified repeatedly, because justification invites debate, and debate invites disrespect, while action closes the conversation completely, and this is why the Stoic path is deeply practical, not philosophical in the abstract, but lived through daily discipline, reflection, and restraint, because restraint trains the mind to pause between stimulus and response, and in that pause lies freedom, and freedom is the ability to choose dignity over impulse, silence over noise, and composure over chaos. And over time, this choice reshapes your identity, because identity is built from repeated behavior, not isolated moments, and a person who consistently responds to disrespect with calm detachment develops an unspoken reputation, not of fear or aggression, but of strength and self-command, and this reputation does not need defending, because it is reinforced through consistency, and consistency is the foundation of trust and respect in all human relationships. And Stoicism teaches that respect is a byproduct of integrity, not its goal, meaning when you focus on living according to your values, respecting yourself, and acting with reason, respect naturally follows from those who matter, while those who do not respect you reveal themselves as irrelevant, and irrelevance is the proper place for disrespect, not the center of your emotional life. And this realization brings profound peace, because you stop measuring yourself through external reactions and start measuring yourself through internal standards, asking not did they respect me, but did I act with discipline, clarity, and self-control? And this internal scorecard is immune to insult, because it is private, rational, and grounded in effort rather than opinion, and Marcus Aurelius returned to this practice repeatedly, reminding himself that as long as his actions aligned with reason and virtue, nothing else mattered, not praise, not blame, not insult, not admiration. And this is the ultimate Stoic lesson on handling disrespect. That dignity is not something others grant you, it is something you maintain regardless of circumstances, and when you truly understand this, disrespect loses its emotional weight, becoming nothing more than background noise in a life guided by purpose, discipline, and inner peace. And at that point, you no longer fear disrespect, avoid it, or obsess over it, because it no longer defines you. And when something no longer defines you, it no longer controls you. And this is the quiet power of Stoicism, the power to remain unshaken in a world that constantly tries to provoke reaction, and the freedom that comes from mastering this power is the highest form of respect you will ever receive, because it comes from within and cannot be taken away by anyone.